So we're talking about periodic trends still. When we did atomic radii right before this, we talked about it in terms of effective nuclear charge, which remember we have to consider the nuclear charge, which has to do with the number of protons, a positive charge in the nucleus. And remember that shielding is from the inner electrons repelling the outer electrons because they're the same charge. So we're going to move on. I'm going to leave this up because I want you to pause and look at this every time we talk about one of the trends because it has to do with the trend for the effective nuclear charge. So ionization energy, it's a little more of an involved definition, but let's just think about it as it's the energy to remove an electron, either from a neutral atom or from something that's already an ion or has a charge. So a good example is, so remember that if you have an ion and it's in group 2A, that it always forms this 2 plus charge. So say for magnesium, even though it forms that 2 plus charge, the electrons do come off stepwise. And we call this the ionization energy. The first electron that comes off is the first ionization energy. So the energy to remove one of these electrons, so it went from neutral to having a positive charge. And then once it has that positive charge, and another electron comes off to give it that 2 plus charge, that's the second ionization energy. And then they could be even higher than that. You could have a third or a fourth or a fifth ionization energy. What's important and what we're going to talk about in terms of the trends is the first ionization energy. So the first ionization energy is always the lowest or lower of all the ionization energies. So the first one's the easiest to remove an electron. So less energy means that it took less energy to happen, which means it was easier to happen. So it was the easiest to remove the first electron from that neutral magnesium.